Hey guys, welcome back to the Golang with Postgres project series. Today we're talking about our storage folder or storage package. And here, let's call this file postgres.go. Now in our main.go file, we had a reference to storage, right? And this basically is going to have a function called new connection, which is responsible for creating the connection to the database. So storage folder, where it's called storage, and why this file is called Postgres, because it has all the logic to work with our Postgres database. Okay, so storage package is what we'll have to import out here. And we'll also have our config related logic out here. So let's do that. So let's call it package storage. And we'll import a couple of things. Okay. And for now, at least I need fmt, and I obviously need, because this will have logic to work with Postgres, so I'll obviously need my Postgres. So I'll say gorm.io/driver/Postgres. Now, Gorm has a lot of things, right? And amongst those things, it also has the driver for Postgres, and that's what we're using. Gorm.io/gorm. Now, there are many ways to work with Postgres, and I somehow find Gorm to be the easiest and simplest way, and this is why I've shown this in this video. You can also use SQL Boiler to work with Postgres. You can also have pggo, and I'll cover those in upcoming series, not as part of the series. This series only is going to have Gorm, which in my opinion is the easiest way to work with Postgres. But in other series, I can also cover pggo and SQL Boiler. Okay. Now your config. So config, it's going to have your host, going to have port, all common things, right? Host in the sense which, is it local host or is it on production? Port is like 8080 or 9000, wherever you want it to run. And password, user, db name, and SSL mode. So host is string, obviously. And all of them can be basically copied and pasted because all of them are strings. Now comes the most important thing, the new connection function, which we're waiting for. So we'll come here, we'll say func new connection takes in config. How do I know that? Because that's what I'm passing out here. I'm passing config out here. So that means if I'm passing out config out here, I have to also define my config variable. I'll do that soon. Okay. Takes in config. What is it? It's of type config. The struct that I've created. So config argument is basically of type config. And you have gorm.db, error. Okay. Let's take a variable called dsn. Let's say fmt.printf. And out here, I'll say host, port, and then I have my password, my db name, SSL mode, and yeah, so all these things, right? So for host, to be able to print it out, I'll have to say %s is equal to %s password, %s db name, %s, and SSL mode. I'll put a comma here, and I'll basically print out these values, which are going to be corresponding to these. Okay, so I'll say config being the argument passed to me, which will have all of these values because it's of type star config, right, of the struct. So it'll have all these values. So it'll have a host, which will get printed out here, ahead of host, which will have config.port, config.user, config.password, config.db name, and config dot SSL mode. All right. And after this, we'll have gorm.open postgres.open tsn, comma gorm.config. And here you'll get access to your DB variable. So this function, the new connection function, basically returns DB, which is of type gorm.db. Okay. And here in our migrate books function, we had seen that this accepts an argument called DB, which is of type gorm.db, right? So the origination of everything is out here from the new connection function. Okay. This is what gives us access to gorm.db, the DB argument. And gorm.open function is basically responsible for creating the connection with Postgres. So this is like milestone 0. This is where it's all originating from. This is where you create the connection with Postgres. And how do you open or create the connection? You use all of these different things: your host, port, password, DB, SSL mode, etc., to create the connection. And now we can handle the errors. So we'll say if error is not equal to nil, we'll return db, error. And otherwise, if everything went well, we'll say db, nil for the error and db, the value. All right. So only one small issue here is that is equal to sign. Okay, now this looks okay. All right, so I'll leave this video here. In the next video, we'll start working with our main.go file.